Imagine for a moment what it would feel like to be fully present every day in every aspect of your life, to have your thoughts, emotions, and actions all flowing in unison, not in conflict or chaos, but in complete harmony. Imagine a life where the choices you make reflect the full spectrum of who you really are. What would that balance bring to your life, and what might it ask of you? I'm Mark Roach. Welcome to Transcendent, my platform where we try to explore ideas that challenge us to live authentically with purpose and clarity. Beware that my perspective may feel a little unsettling at times. It's rooted in my own quest for understanding, formed through a life that's crossed a wild spectrum of human experience. This channel isn't about simple answers, it's about discovering deeper truths inspired by luminaries like Carl Jung, Peter Ouspensky, and George Gurdjieff, Maurice Nicole. He left behind a remarkable body of work that helps us explore these questions. And today we're looking at what Nicole wrote or presented to a group. And this is a concept about balanced man, which he discussed with his group back in July 15th, 1950. And it's documented in volume 4 of his psychological commentaries. It's a profound look at the layers of human functioning and the possibility of integrating them. Nicole begins by describing 3 distinct types of people. He calls these number 1, number 2, and number 3 man. These 3 represent the ways in which human beings function mechanically driven by their habits and tendencies. Number 1s, they focus primarily on what Nicole calls the moving center. These are the people whose lives revolve around movement and action. Think of those devoted to physical labor or even athletes who constantly engage in tasks that involve moving material from one place to another. Number 2 man operates from the emotional center. His world is shaped by feelings, whether artistic expression or simply getting caught up in moods and likes and dislikes. Social media comes to mind. There's depth here, though, sure, but it can swing wildly, moving from passion to despair, attachment to repulsion. And then there's number 3 man. Number 3 man is lost in his intellect. Reason becomes the ruler, the lens through which he views every decision and situation. Logical, perhaps, but life, with all its contradictions and complexities, often escapes the rigid confines of pure reason. Individuality, well, each of these types is one-sided individually. They rely too heavily on one center and fail to access the full range of human potential. This is where Nicole introduces the idea of number 4 man, or the balanced man. This figure is something altogether different. Number 4 man isn't a slave to any one center. He can utilize thought, emotion, movement, and harmony. Each center is brought under control, used appropriately and intentionally. It's not about perfection or dominance. It's about balance. Nicole gives us a vivid metaphor to understand this. Picture someone cleaning out a pigsty. A farmer might approach this task with his moving center, getting the job done, but later feeling exhausted and unable to engage in anything beyond physical labor. A more balanced individual, by contrast, could set aside emotional reactions to the job's distastefulness, rely on the body to do the work, and later shift into an intellectual or emotional state to engage with others or contemplate a meaningful topic. This fluidity is what the balanced man, or sets the balanced man apart. Achieving this, however, requires effort, self-awareness, and a keen understanding of our own imbalances. Nicole builds on teachings from Jung, Ouspensky, and Gurdjieff, emphasizing that we often approach life from an automatic or mechanical approach, which are basically responses tied to one particular center mechanically. And if we desire growth, we must learn to develop weaker aspects of ourselves to overcome this mechanicalness. For instance, if your patterns tend to lean on intellect, you might challenge yourself to engage emotionally or move physically in ways that expand your being. This kind of work is not really too easy, and as Nicole points out, it requires deep willingness to observe and confront your own automatic habits. There's also the idea of personality versus essence layered into this work. Personality masks our essence, which is our true self. To move toward becoming a balanced man, Nicole reminds us we must distinguish between the two. When we can make personality passive, our essence begins to grow and our ability to use all of our centers in harmony strengthens. This isn't just self-improvement, it's in the way that we often think of it here today. It's a deeply rooted transformation that goes to the core of who we are. Nicole further emphasizes that becoming balanced man demands an understanding that everything can't always be delegated or avoided. There's an element of willingness, willing what is necessary instead of resisting responsibility or retreating into convenience. It's about stepping forward and using the right part of yourself for the task at hand. Maurice Nicole's work remains deeply relevant today because at its heart, it's about reclaiming our humanity. It's an invitation to wake up from the mechanical functioning that keeps so many of us stuck in labels, habits, and roles. I find this idea both liberating and challenging. To fully engage in this work means seeing through distractions and excuses, confronting the ways that we unconsciously live, and ultimately taking full responsibility for developing the potential within us. I hope this exploration of balanced man resonates with you. It's not about reaching an idealized version of ourselves overnight, but about finding our way there with curiosity and effort. This idea feels like an anecdote to the fragmentations of modern life. And if you relate to feeling at odds with yourself or the world, maybe it offers you a mirror for this moment. I'm Mark Roach. This is Transcendent, wishing you all the best.